start to finish meat bird feed. So that's what these birds have been getting. We plan on 20 50-pound bags per 100 birds. So we plan on 1,000 pounds per 100 birds, which breaks down to 10 pounds per bird, start to finish, over 6 weeks is what we generally expect to feed to meat birds. And these birds have been consistent. We have about 120 here. And we've fed 22 bags of feed. And here at the end, we actually dropped down to a 19% protein, not necessarily because of any rhyme or reason. We actually we had 20 of the 22%, and then we went to get it, and it just wasn't available right now, but the 19% was. So we're finishing them on the 19% protein, but that's perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. It's also in meat bird food. So that's all going to work out. So you can see these birds out at 41 days old, meat birds, definitely prioritizing warmth. We already mentioned, right now it's not very warm. It's probably about 40 degrees colder than they want to be, and that's why the heat lamps are such a help. But heat lamps, I will be the first to tell you, we kind of have a love-hate relationship with them. I'll give you an example. Here just a couple days ago, well, I said within the last 4 or 5 days we've added 5 additional heat lamps. Here just a couple days ago, we came back into the barn for a check, and the furthest one from me, down on the other side from where I'm sitting, that heat lamp, the birds must have flapped their wings, bumped it, hit it, whatever. It had come off its fastener. We found it down on the bedding, bulb down on the bedding. Thank goodness for those metal guards, those shields like that are just a couple crossing wires. That at least kept it somewhat off of the bedding material. But you remember those bulbs are about 600 degrees Fahrenheit at the bulb. They're 250 watt heat lamps. So where that heat lamp had fallen down and was setting on the bedding material, it left a black, charred, singed place in the bedding material that was probably about 3.5 to 4 inches in diameter. And fortunately, we found the heat lamp. We disturbed that bedding, kicked it around, made sure that it wasn't going to combust, made sure that it wasn't going to burn any birds, and refastened the light, made sure it was secure. But those things happen. And even over here, one of the shields the birds had knocked off of the lamp. The lamp had stayed in place, suspended, but the shield was down on the floor. So it is a legitimate concern running heat lamps about if something happens and it being a fire risk. We felt very fortunate that what we found with that bulb down didn't end badly, turn into something out of control. But the shields are there for a reason, so you always want to leave those in place. They are a help if something unforeseen happens with that heat lamp and it ends up where it shouldn't be, like in your bedding material. You could still have a problem, but the shield could definitely help prevent a problem. I think it did in that case for sure. So you want to leave those in place as a safety. And as we say, we also want to make sure that they're secured well and fastened. But, you still, something can happen. I mean, just like that. We had tested it, felt it was pretty secure, and still birds must have bumped it and then knocked it down. But again, it's interesting seeing the size difference of the pullets that are the same age, 41 days, as these birds, 41 days. But different growth pattern, different conformation. Oh, and in fact, I wish I could get her, but we have one. Can y'all see her? Let me move so my shadow doesn't get her. That's maybe kind of a neat view of that too. So there's a Rhode Island red pullet that's nestled down there beside that rooster. So that rooster's tolerating her. We've got one rooster over there that doesn't tolerate her at all, or any of them. Hi. Getting in here. Oh, but she laid down there And that bird tolerated her, and even laying down, the size difference. They look like giants compared to her and her peers. So that's 41 days old, okay? Meat birds, this is a hen here. So probably when I'm done recording, I'll probably try to pick that, pull it up, and put her back over the short wall there with her peers. All right, but these birds, they're finished, and so now we're just trying to keep them warm and comfortable until their processing appointment, which we're going to take them on Wednesday morning, December 4th, and right now it's Monday, December 2nd. So that's a finished Cornish cross meat chicken for you. Hey, we appreciate y'all watching. If you have any questions, put them in the comments. We raise these birds here to make meat. We do raise the other types of birds to produce eggs. And like that little Rhode Island red, I know it's hard to see her there in the red light. She kind of blends in. But her flock, now see that rooster there is kind of inquisitive and it was going to peck at her. But her flock will be used for egg production in spring of 2025. These white feathered birds are going for meat in 2 days. So that's what's happening. That's what's happening. But thank y'all for supporting our channel. Like I said, if you have any questions, please put them in comments. We'll be happy to answer them. If the comment's rude, I'm just going to delete it. So be warned about that. But we appreciate your support, your time and effort.